Yeah, I've had conversations throughout the last couple of years when the sustainability topic has come out with like travel advisors, with suppliers. And there seems to be always a question of whose responsibility is it to either
Mm.
make your traveler aware of, sustainability impacts, or is it like whose responsibility in the chain of booking is it to bring this up? And you seem very strongly that it's the supplier, it's the people who are sailing the ships that should have this kind of focus rather than someone else along the chain of command.
Well, it's easy to, blame everyone else. So I think, and if you look back at the Paris Agreement, it's all starts with first you have to take charge of your own emissions. You have to start somewhere. So that means you and I have to be conscious about our choices, but that also means that the operator or as we need to take charge of our own direct emissions first, and then you can of course work with value chain and look at the entire cycle. But I think that is a very important start to first acknowledge, what are we part of, what are we emitting, how can we improve, and there's so much we can do in terms of energy efficiency, for instance, and then if tourism is going to be a force for good, where people can continue to travel and be educated and informed, and come home and be, more educated and informed, also on the ocean health and on sustainability and their own actions, then we have a lot we can contribute with there.
Yeah.
And that's also part of our mission, that when you travel with us, you should come home and be, be feel better because you actually know more and you can take some conscious choices. So it's also about education and really see things up front. You see the nature really close. If you go to Svalbard, for instance, you really see the big ice edges and the icebergs, and you see how they have evolved and melted, and you kind of get climate change and the facts really nearby. And then you can learn both about history and the climate and the ocean and environment, also by the very local expertise in the areas you visit, with, for instance, also at the same time creating local positive ripple effects for the communities we visit. So it's a big cycle, but I definitely think that we have to start with ourselves.
Yeah, and I imagine it's an important part of it's a big reason why guests book Hurtigruten, especially probably more local guests to Norway than over here.
Mhm.
But I imagine that's part of the conversation when they're considering spending their money with Hurtigruten.
Yeah, we see that it's really trending to choose more green, but I think the good thing is that it's not. I mean, if you should only count your footprint, your carbon footprint, you should tent in your own garden, right? Because you don't do any, you don't
Yeah.
emit anything. So it has to be more than only a green choice. The good thing is that it's the kinder, I guess I say, because if you choose local and local food, for instance, I talked a lot about the food aspect when we met last time. So you choose local food, which is very, very fresh produce and the best quality there is. So it's both the most authentic and the best quality, but it also has a low carbon footprint and creates local ripple effect. So it has to be a kind of win-win, because yes, guests are more conscious, but I think it's the key selling point is probably that it's the most authentic and real way to discover Norway and learn about Norway, with fantastic food, local experiences, and that happens actually to be sustainability in practice.